Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday to everybody. So today, you know what I want to talk about? I just want to talk about, I've done 4 consultations this morning. I want to talk about 2 of them. First consultation was done on a really beautiful girl. She's in her 20s. She works at a hospital. She's a nurse. And she knows that natural health is the way. But how do you work at a job being a nurse full time without taking on the dysfunctional beliefs? So we had a conversation this morning and I said, well, here's the problem. You have a job, which I believe, I know you're doing the best you can, and thank God for nurses because they're the most beautiful part of any hospital. It's the doctors I worry about. And I said, so what's the problem here? So she says, well, I've got cervical dysplasia. Now, what is that? That means that there's cells within the cervix, within the vagina, that are not mutated, not cancerous, but they're inflamed, okay? They're irritated. Oh, you can tell there's something that just not right with them. That's it. And I can tell you right now that 99 out of 100 women have that right now. But if they get tested for it, then they'll find it. If they don't get tested for it, it just goes on and the body learns how to deal with itself. So 2 years ago, this same beautiful girl, she had that problem. So she came to me, went on the perfect day. And when she went on the perfect day and just did a few things, her cells went back to normal. So because she's from the whole health care, medical care, when you do a therapy, you just do it for a while and then you change the therapy to something else. Like you go from this drug to this drug, or the doctor says, go on this for 3 months, go on this for 9 days, whatever the case. When we talk about the perfect day and we talk about natural health, it's embracing yourself and bringing yourself back to nature. And by doing that, you balance every cell in the human body. So she comes in and her palms are sweaty, her hands are cold, her eyes are blue-gray, showing toxicity terrible and showing that she probably has worms. But her hands are cold and sweaty, which means that her adrenaline and cortisol is pumping out continually, frying her. And I told you that's going to be setting those cells on fire that are in your pelvis. So she says that they want to do an ablation where they go in and they actually cauterize and kill these cells, which is going to cause scar tissue in her cervix. And what's that going to do if she wants to maybe have a baby? That's going to cause complications. And we know that a scar tissue issue is a physical block, which then stops the blood flow, the lymph flow, stops the energy flow. And with every physical block in your body, you are causing cellular constipation in that area. So because she's so fearful and so stressed out, and because the whole medical system is a terrorist organization, yes, they're great at emergency care. I'm not taking that apart. But understand something. The more tests you get, the more trouble you're in. The more drugs you take, the more poisoned you are. The more surgery you get, the more scar tissue you have. And then it becomes a vicious circle, and then you never get out of there. It's like becoming a drug addict and you're addicted. They go and put you on another drug to try to get you off of that drug. It's supposed to be never ending because it's corporate greed. You can think what you want about me when I say these things, but I told her, you know what, in 6 weeks, okay, and maximum 6 weeks, all those cells will be normal. But the reality is you're only going to be good till the next test unless you learn to love, honor, respect yourself. And understand, whether you want to believe this or not, the whole medical system is geared to find something wrong with you. Because they have to find something wrong with you, because if they don't, how are they ever going to make their profits? And whether you believe that or not, I don't really care anymore. And guess what? People don't get sick because of lack of drugs, lack of chemo, lack of radiation, lack of testing. They get sick because of lack of self-love and self-care. If love was the answer, we'd all be well. If healthcare was the answer, we'd all be well. So let's talk about love. So anyway, so now I had another consultation with a beautiful lady. She's got teenagers. Her whole life has been spent on what? When the kids get sick, she suffers for them. She stresses out. She suffers for her husband. I said, where in your life right now could you say no? Could you say no and yes to you? And she goes, well, my parents are always calling me. If I don't call them every night, they get upset with me. I said, oh my God, sounds like you've got 2 little children and you're the parent. You need to tell them you'll talk once a week because you're going to learn how to love yourself and you're going to take some time for yourself and you're going to learn how to be with yourself. And it's got nothing to do with them. You totally love them, but you need your space. And I said, well, what else is the problem? Well, at work, if they demand that I do something, I'll just take on the extra hours. Okay? Or if my kids want something and I was going to do something for myself, I won't because I feel guilty. And I go, listen, this is part of your sickness. This is why you can't digest your food. This is why your food comes out in particles. This is why you have bowel problems all the time. This is why you can't sleep at night, because you are dishonoring yourself by thinking that you're honoring everyone else, but you cannot cater to other people. We've got to learn to become from patient to practitioner to doctor. You heard what I said. Everyone that goes through our system, we want them from patient to practitioner to doctor. So you're a patient, meaning you don't know what to do for yourself. So guess what? You're everybody's slave, right? You're going to do what you're told because you don't know better. When you become your own practitioner, you're going to look after your own body from the minute you wake up till you go to bed, your own mind, so it's not a landmine. And then when you become a doctor, everybody is a doctor in my eyes. Because when you know how to look after yourself, doctor means teacher. You need to teach your family. So this is the bottom line. So anyways, she left here and I could see she was ready to break down and cry. I'm talking about the young girl, okay? The nurse. And I said, you cannot leave here except with a smile on your face and remember who created you and that your body will heal itself. And guess what? You only stayed on the protocol until they gave you the test was good and you went back to the way you do it. And I go, so what do you consider your diet to be? I consider it to be really good. Compared to what? 92% of the population that has autoimmune disease? I said, for one thing, I understand you want to help people. That's beautiful. At hospital, you are helping them. You have a beautiful heart. But understand something. What they're doing there is not right. And don't take on what you're doing for other people. That's just like I was talking to a farmer yesterday, and he has one of the biggest dairy cow farms in Ontario. And he's finally getting it. And he says, I feel so guilty now. I says, I just feel like I need to stop and sell my farm because the dairy is causing so much inflammatory problems. He's done his research and he sees that. And I go, no, this is your living. You mean well. Keep on having a dairy farm. They're going to buy milk anyways. Just don't drink your own milk. And if you do, structure it. So I'm not trying to tip everybody's world upside down. The bottom line is, if you do what I ask you, you're going to be mentally and physically healthy. I'm telling you. So the proof is in the pudding. I'm telling everybody, we'll give you a money-back guarantee that nature is the answer, that self-love comes before love, that self-care comes before health care. And you know what? I know that only 1 out of 10,000 people are going to opt into this because the programming's so damn heavy. And the other thing is you're always looking for personal approval from your family, okay? And you take things personal when they don't approve of you. So you're going to end up doing things to poison yourself. So I understand the world is still going to go downhill. The world is always going to be at war with each other and with ourselves because that's how corporations need us. They feed off of us. They feed off our pain. They feed off their suffering. And go ahead. It's your life. And understand, I don't feel so bad because I believe we're eternal spirits. So guess what? It's only one life that you messed up and you just didn't stand up for yourself. So that's okay. And you might say, well, now he's being sarcastic. Well, guess what? It's your choice. It's your body. It's your vehicle. And if you decide you want to run it into the ground, and if you believe that you have to be sick and you've got to be a victim and that you need to suffer and that you have to have the last 15 years of your life just being totally miserable, that you want to off yourself, then go ahead and follow the herd or make yourself heard. Stand up for yourself. Have a beautiful day. And don't forget, tomorrow I'm going to be on with Peter Webb talking about frequency and talking about crystals. Did you know that Tesla used crystal energy and frequency to pull out of the ether to actually turn on all the electricity of New York. Meanwhile, they blew up the generator. That's how much electricity's out there in the universe. And understand, you want to turn on your electrical self, and that would be your spirit. Next thing is on Thursday, I'll be with Marlene Siegel talking about how dogs are our best friend. 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then on Friday, Q&A. Write your questions down. Challenge me. Don't believe me, but understand something. There's a beautiful life if you understand that it's self-care, self-love. Have a beautiful day.